My name is Tarun Ravi. I live in Las Vegas, prior to which I lived in Los Angeles for a few years. I have a master's degree in computer science and 12 years work experience at Ford Motor Company and IBM. US government psychologist tested my IQ and I scored 128 after being physically and mentally tortured for 12 years. I and a lot of Indians are being tortured physically and mentally for years, Indian Americans, with mind control neuroweapons and artificial intelligence. My brain is connected to NSA supercomputer artificial intelligence with DNA mind control nanobots, which the US government is spraying in the air we breathe for the last 3 decades. So they can read my private thoughts, emotions, and memories almost in real time, regardless of my physical location. These mind control nanobots enter our brains through our noses when we breathe and inhale, and then they attach themselves to our brain synapses, like shown in this video, and stay there forever.
See, nanocells are real small, 1,000 times smaller than these dust particulates. You inhale it, they go to work, replicating, spreading like a virus, multiplying in exponentials. 6 months' time, I could have 100 million people converted, ditch diggers, porn stars, and presidents. Not one would be the wiser. 100 million people will buy what I want them to buy, do pretty much damn well anything I figure they ought to do.
Most likely, the evil US government psychopaths have been spreading these DNA mind control nanobots and artificial intelligence in the atmosphere using these chemtrails. The evil US government referred to these chemtrails as an exotic weapon in 2001. Mind control scientist Dr. James Giordano said this about these mind control nano swarms.
What has gone from the drawing board to the reality is this: the use of neural interfacing and physiological interfacing through the idea of remote-controlled small-scale systems to create a nanoswarm of biopenetrable materials that you cannot see, that can penetrate all but the most robust biochemical filters, that are able to integrate themselves through a variety of membranes, mucous membranes, and wherever, mouth, nose, ears, eyes, and they can be done in such a level that their presence is almost impossible to detect, and as such the attribution becomes exceedingly difficult to demonstrate. The idea here is to put minimal-sized electrodes in a network within a brain through only minimal intervention to be able to read and write into the brain function in real time, remotely.
So the US government can read and program our minds with satellites, cell towers, and internet, because the nanobots in our neocortex act as cortical modem to connect to internet and transmits information to the evil US government. CIA remotely operated multiple species of animals successfully in 1961 with MK Ultra program. I will show a video where CIA remotely operated a cat. So evil US government is remotely operating hundreds of millions of humans every day like that cat, even in India. This column was published by psychologist Dr. Carol Smith back in 2003. Please read this column and especially these 3 paragraphs which explain how we are being tortured. And in the future, all of you will be tortured. All human beings will be tortured in this manner.
Linking brains to the internet and data clouds that make an unlimited amount of information available to us all the time. Yeah, we can do these kind of things.
Patent number 6011991, remote brain computer interface neural monitoring, i.e. via satellite, from the location of the individual to a remote location so that the brain activity can be computer analyzed.
I will give you a few examples of how they read my private thoughts and then they stalk me on the internet and post comments with embedded responses to my private thoughts. On one of my visits to India, I went to a grocery store and I saw an Indian guy with his Caucasian wife. She was wearing a sari and a bindi on her forehead. So I immediately said, "Welcome to India," in my mind in sub-vocal speech. Sub-vocal speech is when we say things inside our minds. So this evil US government psychopaths read my private thoughts, what happened in my brain in Vijayawada, India, and responded with this comment, "Welcome, Bindi," to inform me that they knew what happened in my mind. So that's how they stalk mind control victims like me and remind us every day. When my parents visited America, my father loved eating corn, sweet corn. So after a couple of years, I remembered that my father loved eating corn. So this evil US government psychopaths read my private thoughts and posted this message with kandi, that I was thinking about corn. One day, I remembered me and my friends eating at Swagat restaurant in Amirpet, Hyderabad. So this evil CIA psychopaths read my private thoughts, what happened in my brain, and posted this message with the username Swagat, that they knew that I was thinking about Swagat restaurant in Amirpet, Hyderabad. And they also posted the secret message that they can read deepest feelings in my brain. So one day in Hyderabad, to find privacy, I called one of my cousin sisters in Tarnaka from a payphone and went and stayed there that night. So the evil US government didn't know where I was on that day. So they posted this message, hiding, to inform me that I was hiding from them in Hyderabad. In San Jose, California, I thought I am suffering all these physical and mental tortures because of my birth date 8, which is an unlucky number. That's what I thought. So a few minutes later, this evil US government psychopaths, they read my private thoughts and called my cell phone and spoofed this number, 888-888-8888, as you can see on my telephone bill. So that's how they informed me. They knew that I was thinking that 8 is my unlucky number. I didn't have any mental privacy. So I thought how to communicate with my brother privately when I was in San Jose, California, in my brother's house. So I thought I will write it on a piece of paper and give it to my brother. So these evil psychopaths read my private thoughts, what happened in my brain, and posted this message and suggested that the best way to communicate privately is by chalking on a slate. I went to a cyber cafe in Hyderabad, and the keyboard keys didn't work properly. So I told the attendant that the computer keyboard keys are not working properly. So the evil psychopaths sitting in America, they read my private thoughts, what happened in my brain in Hyderabad, and posted this message, Stone Age keys. I dated a Chinese American. She was a Google manager in San Jose. After a few months, I was concerned that these evil psychopaths will break up our relationship. So they read my private thoughts and programmed my girlfriend to call me and proactively accuse India that the India-China war in 1962 was India's fault. So they created a rupture in our relationship between me and my girlfriend. And the evil US government is doing exactly the same to millions of people all around the world every day, breaking up relationships, creating artificial relationships, sabotaging careers, destroying lives, making people fight and argue. They're operating humans at animal level remotely. When I thought in my mind that maybe other people can also perceive these secret coded messages from the perpetrators, the evil US government psychopaths, they read my private thoughts and posted this message. Well, it was unique, damn it, to inform me that nobody else has these perception abilities, that my perception abilities are unique. That's how they communicate with me after reading my private thoughts with these secret coded messages. I will give you an example of my extraordinary perception abilities and third eye. When I play poker online in Los Angeles, for example, I usually keep track of how many coin flips or races I win every day. One day I forgot about it. So these evil psychopaths read my private thoughts and called my cell phone and spoofed this number 747-222-2148. The last four digits, 2148, is the secret coded messages to me from the evil CIA psychopaths. They were informing me that I won 2 out of 8. So 2, 1 is WON, 1, 4 is for FOR, 8 is 8. So I won 2, 1 for 8. I won 2 out of 8 coin flips in my poker tournaments that particular day. Dr. Michael Persinger, he said this back in the 1990s, that all 6 billion human brains can be accessed by generating electromagnetic induction of fundamental algorithms in the atmosphere. Please read these paragraphs. After years of physical and mental tortures, out of frustration, I told the US government psychopaths, if they don't stop torturing me, I will approach the Russian embassy or Chinese embassy and request them for political asylum. And I will reveal to them all these technologies of the US government. So the evil US government, that morning, the next morning, when I was asleep, in the early hours of the morning, they projected a video and images into my brain, which appear as dreams for us, for the victims. So in the dream, I call Russian embassy, and then I forget my own name. My brain gets stuck. I couldn't speak. So, and I call my mother, and my mother says hello, and my brain gets stuck. And I don't remember my name anymore. I don't know who I am. I don't remember my name. Just like Jason Bourne movies. So the message is that the evil US government will destroy my brain, will spread virus and destroy my brain and remove all my memories and make me forget who I am. That's how they threaten me, by projecting this video into my brain, which appears as a dream for us.
This technology can be used to beam images and even motion pictures into one's brain. Images and motion pictures that are so realistic that you think you're actually watching a movie or seeing something in reality. It's like a virtual reality 3D rendering that takes place within the target's mind.
So the evil US government is projecting these videos and images into hundreds of millions of human brains literally every day. Sometimes as coded messages, sometimes as threats. But the people, the victims, don't know, because they don't know that these technologies exist. So Indian media, you need to give me exposure immediately on a war footing. This is an emergency. So I can explain how these technologies work. I am the expert in these technologies because I spent years researching about these weapons, neuroweapons, artificial intelligence, and directed energy weapons. So I am the expert because I have been a victim, torture victim for the last 22 years. Hundreds of millions of human beings on the planet, their brains are already secretly invaded, including India. A few weeks ago, I got into an auto, and after 1 minute, I thought I didn't have change. I only have 500 rupees notes. So within 1 minute, the evil US government read my private thoughts and then programmed the auto driver to ask me if I have change. There was no need for the auto driver to ask me if I have change before reaching the destination. This is not my imagination. I am the only human on the planet with this extraordinary perception abilities because I have a third eye. The evil US government knows it, knows that for a fact that I have a third eye. Only I can perceive that these people are being remotely programmed to say something to me, to email me, to text me. I have this ability since my teenage years. I was playing poker in Los Angeles in a casino, and I saw these two ladies who worked as models for WPT, World Poker Tour. Their names are Danielle and Angelique. So I compared these two women in my mind, the way they looked and their personalities and their character traits. I compared them after a few days. So this evil US government psychopaths read my private thoughts remotely and posted this secret coded message, Dunedin versus Adelaide. The first two letters is the secret code, D versus A, which is D for Danielle and A for Angelique. I was documenting all these things, and I thought that my brain processed the D versus A coded message in 2 seconds. So these evil psychopaths read my private thoughts again and remotely programmed Sonam Mahajan, who lives in India, to tweet this because I was reading her tweets at the time. So the coded message is in like 3 seconds.